All right, so listen, how's it going? How's it going?
Dude, things are going very well. I still only have that one property.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen, well, don't talk that way. I mean, I only have this. Oh, you ordered just the coffee? No, I ordered the best cup of coffee I've ever had in my life from you.
that's true.
Oh, you got to see the good in it, man. You're doing awesome.
Yeah, so it's going really well though.
Good.
It's running very efficient, the property. I have a team in place, so I'm more or less now pretty hands off. I just kind of keep the books and the administrative stuff and the financials. I do that myself.
Yeah.
Still focus on like the leasing and the bills, but almost everything else is just really there now, and it's running, and I have great people working with me.
Are you there now?
No, I'm not. I'm in my office right now. I'm actually going down. I'm actually, funny enough, I'm going down in about an hour and a half. I get my haircut in DeSoto, in the little town over there. There's I call him Grandpa. He's been cutting hair for 62 years.
Yeah.
Okay? And he uses a technique that's called the Roffler style, where he uses a straight razor and sculpts the top of your hair.
Are you kidding me?
No, so I'm like, how do I pass up that opportunity? So I use the haircut as an excuse to go down there a little more often, just check up on people when I'm down there.
Yeah. Hey, listen, when you first started, when we were looking at this property,
Yeah.
First off, how's your dad doing?
Oh, he's doing good.
Good. Tell him I said hi.
Yeah, well,
Now, when we were first looking at this property, you were looking, I mean, well, what happens if this happens? What happens if, I mean, you had like every scenario already played out in your mind, like, all the things that could possibly go wrong. What's gone wrong since you took it over that you didn't expect, or, caught you by surprise?
okay, that's a good question. And again, to just go back for a second on your point, when we were in the due diligence, I mean, I was talking to you quite a bit, and I remember, obviously the first deal. So, and I'm also more of like an in-depth, I want to make sure everything's right.
Yeah.
Make sure, I watched your due diligence seminar 3-4 times, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, God, I could probably quote it for you by now. But
I tell you, people say, do you remember when you said this? I'm like, oh, I said that? Because it's so, I mean, you talk about gray hairs. I just saw an old video of mine, because I've been shooting videos for over 10 years now. I had a great head of hair when I first started this business. Yeah, and then you have to deal with people like you, and look what happens, Jeez. All right, so what happened that that it caught you or surprised you?
Definitely. So I didn't underwrite 5 decks to be replaced. I kind of just skipped over it. I think I was focused on more, expensive, bigger things. But the decks were a cool opportunity.
You missed out on the things that were staring you right in the face.
I kind of did, because I had a foundation guy come out. I had the HVACs checked. So a few HVACs broke here and there. That's not abnormal, because most of the HVAC systems were original, 35 years old. So that's fine. But I would say the other things that were sorry, I'm getting some prompt on my computer here. I don't know what that is. Okay. The other things, so these decks, let me tell you about this, because this was interesting. So it's 46 units, right? And of the 46 units, 5 of them had walkout decks, 4 foot by 32 foot, no stairs, just a little walkout deck.
Okay.
And just didn't realize that, they were original wood and they were rotted. They were never stained properly or well kept. So kind of just said, well, we're taking it over. Let's just fix them. Got a quote from a local deck company. They wanted, and I wanted to go composite with the vinyl, right? Just do it one time and be done.
Right.
And I get a quote from them, like 52 grand. I'm like, what? So I'm like, you know what? I got a maintenance guy who I can pay hourly, and I can get my hands dirty. So I did it myself with him over the summer, got the lumber and the materials from the local lumber yard there, who's been in town, for 60 years.
Yeah.
And ended up doing it with his labor and the materials for 17 grand. So not a big deal. Not a big deal. A little bit of, extra money, but it's fine, because the property's producing plenty of cash flow. Which
it is. Okay.
And
All right,
then
let's talk the numbers now. What, like, how well are you doing? Are you way ahead of schedule?
I'm way ahead of schedule right now. So when I took over the property, the NOI was about 140 grand. Okay.
Yeah.
It was projected revenue was like 260 or something like that. So I underwrote it pretty conservatively. Okay. I underwrote to be, you know, gross potential rents of 290, take 10% vacancy. So I underwrote to have 260, effective rents. And I underwrote for the NOI to be about 160, 155, 160.
So $20,000 increase.
All right, that's what I underwrote. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this was May of 21 when I bought it. So what are we now? We're
In November,
we're about
a year and a half.
A year and a half in, and even starting in August is when I noticed. So in August, because I had a bunch of turnover because I inherited the property that was an older. I don't know if you remember, but it's a 55 and older community.
Oh, right.
So,
But it wasn't. But it just happened to be a 55 plus.
It just happened to be. It's not LIHTC. It's not subsidized by the government. It's a
Right.
market rate that happens to be 55 and older.
Yeah.
So a lot of the tenants were, aging, and they were in their 80s, 90s. You know, some of them have lived there for 20, 30 years. And the guy never raised rent one time.
Yeah.
Right. So I had a handful of turnovers, you know, people passing away, people going to nursing homes, people going that. So I flipped it and went straight to market rent. Now, let me just tell you this, Charles, when I underwrote it, I was thinking, so some of these tenants were paying $375 to $450, whatever it was. And I said market rent based on kind of the seller's numbers, doing my own research to be conservative, was going to be $575. Well, today, effectively, I'm getting $750 on those. Okay. So my numbers now, starting in August, I hit it. I'm producing what I thought I was going to be making in year 3.
Wow.
Or year 4 even. I did the numbers, right? I'm making like the revenues around 28 grand a month right now. So that's like 300. And this is my vacancies, by the way. I think I ran it like 98%. And I don't even advertise. I don't pay for advertising. I mean, I advertise on Facebook Marketplace, which is free, and I get tenants in there like this. I think it's a combination of the area, you know, it's just like a steady area. People want to be close to their kids, and I think it's a combination of the style of the product. Again, being 55 and older, most of the units are single level, so no stairs. They have an attached garage, washer dryer hookup, dishwasher, garbage disposal, and then we take care of everything maintenance wise. So people who want to move in, it's pretty turnkey for them just to plot their stuff down and they're happy.
Okay,
So
what's your NOI now?
So NOI now, I guess projected for the year, right?
Yeah.
Based on numbers now is set to be like 215.
Okay, hold on. And what cap rate are you?
So 7.5 is a very conservative cap rate. I would even go with 7. But you know, times have changed now because of interest rates.
So you've added $1 million of value?
Yeah, in a year.
Rubin, bravo, brother. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you. That is so cool. Oh yeah. Man, I'm so glad. I couldn't have it with a nicer guy. Yeah. Do you remember when you were peppering me with questions at that conference in Florida that I went to?
Oh yeah.
You had those 2 partners who where are they now? Huh? Where are they now? Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine telling them now what you're doing? I mean, have you spoken to them? Do they know
so the one guy, Isaac, I don't really speak to anymore, but Jason, who you met in Florida with me,
yeah,
I've been buds with him since we grew up. So although it didn't work out, and you know, it's fine. And I talk to him once a week still.
Yeah.
And you know, he kind of went back working for his dad's mortgage company. So
oh boy, you know. He's in trouble. Oh boy. Oh
yeah.
Boy. Oh, he'll be working for you momentarily. Just wait.
So yeah, it is what it is. It's way better that I don't have partners, because you know, it's just me and my dad, and it's more fun. And again, the return. So just in addition to creating the value, I mean, Charles, we're doing effective cash on cash for the deal. You know, for the whole deal is about 30% right now.
Wow.
And we did a cost seg study. got a ton of bonus depreciation in there.
Yeah. Does your dad now introduce you at Passover dinners as as his favorite son? Is that yeah?
He doesn't have to introduce me that way. I think people just know it.
They know it, yeah. It's like my kids; they all know which one's my favorite. They all just know, yeah.
Yeah, I think they just know, but it is what it is. I mean, how do you love one son over the other, especially if one's making you a ton of money?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Oh, okay, but wait a minute. $1 million question, because this is the way my father would treat me. All right, so what are you going to do tomorrow? What's the next step? I mean, you took care of that one. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So after we bought in May, it was a lot of work in the beginning. A couple months I was there all the time, 12-hour days, slamming. I'm starting to look for more deals. I had a deal that actually, it was a 24 unit. I was going to add on in February of this past year. So just 8 months after I was ready to go, 24 units added on, let's go. Didn't work out, terminated the deal, just found some issues within the financials. Again, because I have a very in-depth analysis from you.
Yeah.
So found some issues, terminated that. And ever since kind of just, I'll be honest, have been a little lazy because I also haven't found the right deal in my mind, because I think I've been a little, I guess, desensitized in a way, because this deal that I found runs so well. It's such a deal. And I'm like, how am I ever going to find anything better? Right. Now I understand, of course, not one deal's, not two deals are alike, and I'm going to keep pushing. But what I actually switched into a little bit, in my area where I live, I picked up a couple single family homes, which of course is against things that I believe in a sense. Yeah. But I like the area. I think in 10 years, values are going to be here because there's a ton of development, and it will be just a corporate rental or an Airbnb. So a little bit different than just a regular, 12-month lease. And here's the thing is, one of the houses I picked up is literally in my backyard. I can walk there from my backyard.
All right. Wow.
It touches it. So I'm like, how do I not get it? The area is going to go up. I'll let it break even, cash flow a little bit. It will be fine.
Yeah.
So kind of put my hands in a couple of those single families. Again, I think about it plenty, and I'm like, I'd rather multifamily. You could do more damage with the cash. But I think soon enough, I'll cash out, refi, pull that money out, and then just put it in a deal anyways.
Yeah, 1031, or just refi, I think you.
Just a refi.
I wouldn't get rid of this property. This is the type of property I say you want to buy properties that you forget you even own. Yeah, and this one is like that for you. Okay, so we want me to tell you what the next step is? Yeah. Rubin, I've been screaming to all my students, this market's going to change. These interest rates are killing people. There's going to be a ton of properties being taken back by the banks. Mm-hmm. And that's where your next opportunity is going to be. You're going to need to start going to those local banks down in that area, all over. Ask who the workout person is, who's in charge of loan workout, who's in charge of distressed properties. Get to know that person. Let them know, hey, listen, I own 46 units right now. I'm looking to add to it. If you're taking any back, if you got anyone in problems, I'll come buy the note from you. We'll work it out. I'll take your problem off your desk. And Rubin, I just got back from a conference in Chicago for credit officers for banks. Don't ask me what I was doing now. I was just trying to find out how they think and how my students can get in there with them. And they have this concept that I'll tell you right now. These guys look for the farmer next door. Okay. And one guy's up there, says, yeah, we look for the farmer next door. Somebody goes, what the hell is a farmer next door? If the bank takes back a property, they want to get rid of it to somebody who knows and understands its value. And the farmer next door to the farmer that was just foreclosed on knows that property, knows what it takes to make it work, can tell a good story, and the bank wants to give it to that guy. So you need to start going around to all these loan workout guys and telling them why you're the farmer next door. Listen, I already own 46 units. I'm running it. It's beautiful. I'm at $1 million in value since I bought it. I want to add to it. The prices have been crazy for the last 5 years, but if you have any deals that come back on your desk that you want to unload, give me a call. Let's work out a deal. I'll take it off your hands because I need to start rebuilding my portfolio. And that's what you do.
It's as simple as walking into the bank or making those phone calls.
Yeah, because right now, you see, the problem among that industry that I went to the conference for is they don't have enough people. One guy says that FDIC has 1.7 million single-family homes coming back to them in foreclosure, and the banks don't have enough workout people right now. So you got to get in there now with the guy who's in charge, because pretty soon he's going to have a team of 60 people working for him, and you've got to get in there so he knows who you are. And when they take, hey, like we're looking at this 24 unit, it was a bridge loan, it was construction loan, rehab. Didn't work out. We're going to be taking it back. Do you want it? And you want to be that guy that they're going to call. That's how to do it.
So, okay. And you think that's the most effective way, or is there other avenues as well?
Well, I mean, what's going to happen is he's going to get it and kick it over to a broker. Mm-hmm. And he gets it from the broker. You're just like everybody else.
Right.
You want to get it beforehand so he doesn't have to deal with a broker and you don't have to deal with a broker. And you can just go in there and sit across the table from the lender, say, what do we need to do? I'll buy the note from you. You don't want to foreclose on the guy? Let me buy the note. I'll foreclose on it.
And you think it's happening now?
Oh, right. It is. The first quarter of next year is going to be a bloodbath. It absolutely is. Those are where the next opportunities are going to be in our business. You got a sweetheart deal. I've looked at so many stupid deals being done over the last 2 years that just didn't make any sense. They worked entirely under the supposition that the market was going to continue to increase. And they all said, oh, we tested our model based upon a higher interest rate. Well, they didn't expect it.
7%.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're gonna have to have a short-term debt. They're gonna a bridge loan or a 5-year term. They're gonna have to give it back to the bank. The bank's just gonna say, sorry, we need our money back. And so that's what's going to happen. I mean, I watched it happen in 2008, and I was on the short end of it. I lost my shirt, and I'm ready to go this year. I'm ready to make it happen. So that's the way to do it. That's it. And so you get to still sit home and do nothing. Just make one phone call a day to a bank's workout officer and get to know them.
Well, I've taken the time over the months of just continually networking in the St. Louis area, talking to brokers, talking to lenders, talking to developers, just getting my name out there and everything. Because St. Louis is a pretty small niche community. And everyone knows everyone, and so there's definitely a few lenders already. I can just call up and say, hey, let's talk about it. Add me to the list. You know exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah. But I'm gonna do that. I think locally. I like that idea because I recently actually met a buddy of through a friend. I've met a broker. They're big into retail or whatnot, and we were talking. He's like, so how are you looking for your deals right now? And I'm like, honestly, I'm kind of just taking it slow. He's like, dude, why are you not out there cold calling owners? Why aren't you drive? He's like, just go the old-fashioned way. He's like, go drive the area. He showed me an app called Land Glide. Do you know this app?
I think I've heard of it before.
And effectively, you drive the area wherever you are, it pinpoints your location, and it maps out the parcel. You click it, it tells you who the owner is. Yeah. And then so we're driving all these properties. We're in these little small towns, within 20 minutes from where I have property, because my management team can just add on. And we got a whole list together. He's like, I'm gonna call the owners for you. I'm gonna do it, and then I'll send you information. I'll go from there. So
that's the way to do it, man. That's what I've been teaching my students with my CRM. I've already built the CRM for you. I load it up. I load it up with all of your leads, in your market. I'll say, okay, we're going to put all the, multifamily properties in your marketplace in the CRM, and my VAs are going to be cold calling them for you. And then we also add in the delinquent loans. Those people at 30, 60, 90, pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, we get that list every single month and we upload it into your database. And, you can have the VAs calling them for you. You can have, that's the whole thing with my program is I set it up so that the sales and marketing component, I've already built for you. You just tell me what market you want, and my team will go out there and start working for you. That's how I do it.
That new program, what does that cost?
Well, you see.
I don't know. Do I want to jump back in bed with you?
You bet you do. You've never wanted to get out of bed with me, pal.
Listen. I'll jump back in bed if I can have the left side.
The what side?
The left side of the bed. I'm picky.
Well, I always sleep with a pillow over my head, so you've already got a head start there to try to.
Okay. Listen, just don't leave a horse in the bed in the morning.
Okay. Yes. Exactly. Mo Green. Yeah, I'm going to call you Mo Green. So, no. So this is. I'll tell you about it later. But here's something else, and
All right.
this is where I think. I mean, I've already created this program that is so unique. Nobody else touches it. But listen to this one, and you're going to love it. I had a Monday night call the other day, and I had one of my students who's grew up in the multifamily business, and he's an expert at property management. And he starts talking about ways you can save money, ways that you can drive the NOI. And he says, and what you should be doing if you have enough capital, but enough mass behind you, you should be starting your own captive insurance company.
Captive insurance. What does that mean?
Okay, so I heard him say this, and I thought to myself, you know what? I looked at starting a captive insurance company back when in my old insurance days, and I thought, oh man, it didn't work out. But he said captive insurance company, and then about 5 of my students on the call, owner operators, said, these renewals are killing us. These property insurance renewals are crazy. They don't make any sense. And of course, it's all got to do with inflation. I mean, the values of the properties are going up. They need more money to insure them. So of course, the renewals are going to start skyrocketing. And so I thought to myself, geez, maybe I should start thinking about this captive. The next day, I had a guy set up on my podcast, and I look at to see what we're going to talk to about these guys.
Yeah.
5 minutes before I get on, and the guy's an insurance agent. I thought, oh man, this is gonna be the most painful conversation. I mean, Woody Allen was right when he said that, there's a fate worse than death. Have you ever spent an evening with an insurance agent? And that's the way it feels when I get on the podcast. So I get on the call with him, and I said, hey, you know what? Last night on my Monday night call, all my students said that they're getting killed with renewals. And do you know what one guy said the solution was? And this insurance guy says, creating a captive. I'm like, yeah, how'd you know that? He goes, that's what I do. And so I thought, okay, what do I have to do to start the ball rolling on this? And so I may be starting my own captive insurance company for the benefit of my students in my program on their properties. And so that's kind of what, the next thing that I'm going to be doing for my students is you come with me, you get access to an insurance policy that is less expensive than anything else you're going to get out there. So
what is the captive insurance exactly, though?
It's really what, I used to be in the benefits administration business. I ran, my company would run self-funded health insurance plans for companies. And so I did all the claims administration. I did, we would go out and buy the risk. That's essentially, I was a captive. But this time I am actually putting up like $350,000. I'll put up $350,000 to give it its seed capital. And then we do the claims, the underwriting, the administration, and it's all like an affinity plan. The only way you can get access to this is you have to be a member of my group. And we don't pay the big insurance overhead like the insurance companies do, but we're self-insuring among all the group. And we have insurance policies behind the scenes, reinsurance policies to put a cap on it. So we're not going to lose our shirt. We always have a cap on what the losses could be. So and there's huge tax benefits. And so, I don't know exactly how we'll structure it, but we also have to make sure the numbers make sense. But we'll see what we can do. So you want in?
But are you self-insuring? So you're. I just need to fully understand it. So
yeah.
What because there's going to be a difference in the premiums due to inflation. That's exactly what we're talking about?
Yeah, well, that's what's going on right now with the current fully insured care.
Well, I locked back in May. I renewed for a year, so it didn't.
Right. So get ready for this May. You're going to be calling me up, say, Charlie, what's that thing about the captain? Can I join your program again, Charlie? Can I?
Listen, I've been begging to join back in. No, I'm kidding. So let's just say you're paying a $20,000 premium, and then they, next May they're like, hey, it's $30,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
That's
so
what we're seeing.
how does the captive help you?
So we'll go in there and we'll say, okay, we're going to compete against your current plan. So here's our policy, and based upon your losses and based upon your risk, this is your premium is going to be $22,000.
Ah, interesting. Listen, I don't know if I might be a bad insurer now. I just put in a big claim and got a bunch of new roofs.
Get it? Okay. Hold on. Let me tell you. When I was talking to the captive guy, I said, okay, I will set up a policy and I'll set up a plan, but I get to kind of custom design the insurance policy. All right. And they said, yeah, no problem. I said, so first off, we're not doing Florida. Nothing in Florida. I would not want touch Florida ever.
Okay.
Number two is wind damage won't be covered. So I'm not going to cover that. I mean, listen, the whole idea is I made a killing against the insurance company because of the wind damage. And you know that. Yeah. I knew my roofs needed to be replaced. When I bought the property, I knew the roofs needed to be replaced. Why did the insurance company have to pay for my new roofs is ridiculous. And so that will not be covered. I'm going to say right on the front, we do not cover wind shear damage for your roof. That's all.
What do you cover?
I don't cover it. No, we're gonna cover the things that we don't get claims on. We're an insurance company.
Yeah, exactly.
We're an insurance company. What do you expect? We don't pay claims.
You're gonna cover the owner. You're gonna cover the owner falling on his own property trying to sue himself.
The hell we will. Like, I'll get a phone call from my claims department. I'll be like, hey, Rubin Amon just called again. He's got another claim. Cancel him. Cancel his ass. I don't want him on my plan ever again. So yeah, so that's what we're thinking about doing. And so what we do is we go to London, we buy the reinsurance. So it puts like a $50,000 specific claim cap. So like, if you have a building burns down, okay, it's going to be $150,000 loss. Well, we don't pay $150,000, we pay 50, and then London pays.
Okay.
So all the premiums we collect go towards paying that 50. And
I understand. Right.
And the whole thing, I'm kind of wondering if there's a way for a profit sharing or like a dividend redistribution, where if you have a good claims year, you get some of the premium back next year. So, we want people to have a good year, that type of thing. So, we pool you in there with 20 other of my clients, and they're all in the profit sharing, but if they have one claim, they're out of the profit sharing for the year. So then 19 people will share it. Then 18 people will share it. Then before you know it, Rubin's the only guy. He's like, his building is burning down, and he's on the phone like, do I call Charlie or do I get the profit? Do I call? How much is the profit? Like,
yeah. Like you're gonna hold out like you're playing Monopoly and you're waiting to get Boardwalk because you got the other one.
Yeah,
you're waiting for you're waiting for Boardwalk. You got Park Place. No one wants to trade with you, and before you know it, you lost the game because you were holding out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's. So that's what we're going to do is, and I'll reach out to you and tell you, hey, what look at $8,000 a year. If I save you $8,000 on a 7 cap, I just increase your value by $114,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. It sounds great.
Yep. So that's what we're going to do. So, all right, man. Listen.
Let me ask you a question though before you run. Do you think is it still as advantageous now because of what's happening with the environment to cold call these owners?
Always.
Right. But I'm saying versus the option of the loans or just do both, I guess, right?
Well, you do both. Anytime because the loan information that we put into the CRM, the contact is the owner. All we're doing is recategorizing your owner list by saying, hey, these guys are in distress. These guys are motivated. You want to start by calling these guys. Mm-hmm. They're the ones in trouble, and they know they're in trouble. And they're looking for a way out. Along comes Rubin, and the guy's killing it. He's got money in the bank. They've got a great credit line, and so they're going to come in and want to talk to you.
Isn't there a website like HUD.zoo or something where you can find these foreclosures lists also, things like
Well,
that?
maybe. I mean, that's we get them from CoStar.
Uh-huh.
So that's how we get them. But you know, the problem is it's only as good as the info that goes in. Obviously, if it's a CMBS loan, that's those are all, they have to be reported.
Mhm.
So, but local, you know, Frank's Bank, they don't know what the deal is.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's
So,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. All right, good. I now get to work, for crying out loud. I mean, I don't want to hear another, I want to hear another success story out of you.
Listen, I gotta get my haircut first.
You got a busy day. You're like an old person. I mean, your father knows this. You know, you try to book an appointment with an old person. Hey, can I see you at 2 today or something? Oh, I have a doctor's appointment at 11.
Yeah.
What, you done for the day after that? You know? So that's like, oh, Ruben, I got a haircut at 10, you know?
Yeah, there's like a running joke among my friends. They just don't think I work.
They don't what?
They don't think I work.
No.
My friends are like, what the hell do you do every day? Because, you know, in the summer and spring, the property's running itself. Go out in the middle of the day, play tennis. I'm like, we're tired. And everyone's like, what do you do? I'm like, to be honest, I don't even know. I don't do much.
Ruben, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Listen, and of course, this is all thanks to the great Charles Dobbins.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I tell you, Ruben, you've been
No, but seriously, wouldn't have been in this position without you. I mean, I told you beforehand, and I'll tell you again. When we were looking at the time with the two partners, when we were looking for a mentor, someone to guide us, we talked to a couple people. We talked to, you know, Rod Khalif and that program, and those programs just made me sick. They were very commercial. They were very salesy calls. And you'll appreciate this. Let me tell you this for a second. When we had we had a little call with Rod Khalif's team, right? Because we just figured we tried out, and it was like super salesy. And then Rod Khalif pops on for 2 seconds, pops off. Right, it's like a Zoom call, right? It's like, okay, like it's nice. He's popping on. It's exciting, right? Yeah. And then I see him at that conference. I think he was at that. He popped at that conference.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me just tell you. He spoke for like the whole morning, and then I came on the afternoon.
Yeah.
Who put the whole thing together. She said, after I got off the stage, she's, oh my gosh, I wish I had you do the whole thing beforehand. It would have been so much better. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Go on.
So as he's walking out, I go, hey Rod, just want to tell you something. You know, I had a call with your team, and I said, I think there's a guy that was talking to us. I said, just want to let you know the reason we didn't join. It just felt really salesy. And he's like, who'd you have? I told him the guy's name. He's like, yeah, he doesn't work for us anymore. but seriously though, I think it was your lesson was the power of the cap rate. Yeah, that was the one you gave, and I think that was the big reason. I remember me and Jason spoke about it after you gave a talk. We said, oh my God, we just relate to this guy. He's real. He tells the truth. He's not a bullshitter. He tells you exactly what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll tell you you know, as a lawyer, they train you. You got to tell your client what the negatives that could possibly happen. And if I don't do that, you know, I could be disbarred, for crying out loud. Yeah. You open yourself up to a lot of liability. I might end up having to go out and work for a living, you know? So, yeah. What'd you say? I might have to go out and start working for a living, you know? Yeah, exactly. But no, I appreciate that, because that's exactly it. And I tell you, you would call all the time. And like you call, I get you right on the cell phone. We talk. And so if I call you right now, you'll pick up? Go ahead, try me. Go ahead, try it. I'll show you. We'll show the camera. I'll show Rubin. All right, let's show the camera. Let's show the camera right now. Go ahead, let's see. Let's see how I come up. Is like your favorite Jew? Oh, shit, it's that guy. Oh, yeah, right there. There we go. Yep. I have all my clients on my phone, and we talk all the time. So yeah, but I miss talking to you. It's always a lot of fun. I love working with your dad, you know, because he was, you know, it was his money, and we protected him. We made sure that you did everything right. And son of a gun, you made $1 million. You made $1 million. Yeah, he's protected now. He's excited. And he's ready to buy more. Yes, that's awesome. That is so cool. Good partner to have. He tells everyone about how great multifamily is. Yeah. Tax benefit. He worked with me so close that first year when we acquired the property that he had enough hours to be an active investor and
really?
offset ordinary income.
Are you kidding me?
No, he was
a doctor.
Well, he retired in 20.
Oh, okay. Oh,
right.
okay.
He retired in 20, and he was doing this full time with me because he was just learning it and he was doing it. We were going out to do inspections, so he had so many hours that it worked out that way. And when we did that cost seg, I mean, I think he was blown away. You know, as a doctor, you're losing what, half your income?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I tell everyone these days, I just had a meeting with a group of guys. One of them's a lawyer, and we're talking, and you know, I'm just talking about investing and how great multifamily is, just simply because of the tax benefits. And I said, if I ever have to get a job again that I'm going to pay tax on, I'm going to lose it.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I looked at my tax return the other day, and I got to file late because my accountant's in Florida. I love that. You know, and so that depreciation, it's a gift. It's a gift from the government. It's beautiful.
There's a thought that might be going away in the next, several years.
Then if that's that, then what they should do is tax the endowment of these colleges before they take depreciation. That's what they should do. So, don't get me started, Rubin. You got me going. All right, buddy. So good to see you. Thanks for coming on. And this has been great. I love working with you, and I'm can't wait to work with you again because I know you're going to need more help. You know you are.
Yeah. Listen, this was a lot of fun, and thanks for having me on. I'm glad we finally did this. Only took about 1.5 years, but that's okay.
Kind of like the amount of time it took you to make a decision in multifamily. Right? Just buy the damn thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, I held out and found the right woman. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. All right, buddy. Good to see you.
All right, Charles. Take care. Thanks.
See you, Rubin.